Hey there, I'm Nick and this is TurnipHead Art. With this video, I'm going to show you how I put color to an illustration. This is by no way the only way to do it, but it's definitely the simplest way I can explain it in a timely manner. So first, you're going to use your magic wand tool and select outside of your line art. Then you're going to invert that selection. This way, only the things inside of your line art are going to get colored. Now, create a new layer underneath that line art and use the paint bucket tool to fill it with a color that you're going to feature the most in your drawing. If you happen to have an illustration like mine, it'll be red. If you're doing a character drawing, maybe you use the skin tone, or if they're wearing a very large amount of clothing that's the same color, maybe that color. But once you do, don't stress too much about it, because you can adjust that color later on. Now, while that selection is still up, you're going to pick a large soft brush, maybe with a texture if it's appropriate, and paint in a slightly darker and less saturated version of the base color, going heavier in the opposite side of your piece from the light source. You just continue deepening those shadows, gradually getting darker with that color and smaller with your brush. Get into the edges away from the light source or anything that would be thrown into shadow from any high points on your face or whatever your character piece is or whatever your drawing is in general. Just wherever the light source is, the opposite side will take a little more darkness. Once you're happy with that, you can move into doing some highlights. So select a color that is near white and similar to the color of the light source that you imagine is illuminating this piece. So I'm choosing a bluish color, but it's almost pure white. It's very, very close to white. And I'm going to go with a chalky or a colored pencil brush for a little texture. And I like that, especially for this piece. So just like with the shades, the shading, gradually work smaller and smaller with your brush until you're happy with the look of it. You're going to hit those high points around the ridges, around the horns on my piece. Anything that sticks out a little further, anything that you know would catch a little light even from an angle, and you're just going to brush over the edges of it. Maybe catch the high points of some of the more obtrusive shapes. They protrude out, they get a little bit more of the light. once you're happy with it and you like the way it looks, here's a trick I do. Once those are there, you can see all those pencil stroke marks in it. You're going to duplicate that layer, and then you're going to put a color burn on it, or maybe a glow dodge if your light source is especially intense. And there you go. I apologize for putting together such a long video, but this kind of video takes a little time. Coloring this piece took me well over 2 hours, and it still has a lot of work to go. But I think the general points are there, and that's the basics of how I color an illustration already. And if you have some questions, you have a comment, maybe I did something wrong, let me know. And if you liked it, then click that thumbs up, please, and consider subscribing. And until next time, just remember, you are awesome.